my belly. They call it for me and they, you want me like me and I look. Yeah, her Rex on her. Yeah, B-Rex better calm down. Yeah, if you go around, come around. Yeah, whole squad. Yeah, squad goes on me. Yeah, make some orange gel on my toes. Yeah, Farrakhan glass for the chosen. Yeah, you can go and get mad. Jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth, man, who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad, you too. Dripping my swag, about tag on I got it in the bag now, getting all type of cash, I'm a general true. I never did anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving them. I told him the 100, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop out of morning.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, the Red Rifle. Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals do battle with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. A few moments ago, it was Desmond Trufant of the Falcons making their way out of the tunnel to the delight of this sold-out crowd as his guys get set to do battle with the Cincinnati Bengals. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they come in 0-3 and in desperate need of a win.
And as a team, you start to feel a little bit snake bit. They need something good to happen right now so they know it's not just them. They think they have the makings of a good team.
Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. Looking a little bit like a continuation of last week. He had 3 tackles for a loss and now 1 more here in the first quarter of this game.
And there's been no lack of force by him, taking on the offensive linemen, playing them, but also there's a suddenness to his game. They have that initial contact, and then he's gone, moving upfield and making those plays in the backfield.
It's a big body moving upfield, too. They'll run again with Bernard. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Pulled in at the 24. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And out now, here come the Bengals. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Again, here's Bernard. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And the grab by Croft. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what we're going through, whether we're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy? And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It'll be a pickup of 13 on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Passing again, Dalton on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here's Dalton. Open man is Uzama. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. The numbers last week for Bernard, 9 carries, 58 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you...
Oh, a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player. So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 0-0 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try to move the football.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
On second down, Freeman. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Sean Williams that time in on the stop.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Get up! Get up!
3rd and 2. Now Ryan. And it's complete. Hooper. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
And he's brought down after a good gain. That good for 22 and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league. So
they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Staying on the ground, this time it's Smith. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
And how about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. Here's Ryan. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. The quick slant caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Now Ryan on 2nd down. On the move to his left. And oh, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
They'll look to run with Freeman. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons are in for 6. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up, never even got to it.
Bryant's extra point up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. We'll remind you once again, coming up at halftime, we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He's got stats and scores from around the NFL as we wrap up the first month of the season.
No longer is he a rookie.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Falcons grab it. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
39.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Ryan. And Jones has it over the middle. And he's brought down after a good gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. On first down, Ryan. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Carlos Dunlap in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And he'll take this one down to the 36. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Get up, go. Left. Let him go.
From the shotgun, Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Ryan now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. All right, here now a look at A.J. Green. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times it's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. So we are at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone. A lot to get to here this final day of September. So let's get started. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoring.
All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Meanwhile, down in Dallas, an update from there. And it's the Cowboys that have moved down to an early advantage. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Looking deep for Julio. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
I know exactly why I tried to throw the ball to Julio Jones there. He's never considered covered. He's either too fast or too strong. You always try and get it to him.
Especially on those deep passes. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. Dances by it. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I like this focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Ryan leaves with Freeman on the draw. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
On 3rd and 1, Ryan. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up in the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. He'll take it at the 42. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive, as it'll begin in enemy territory already.
Yeah!
Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. Connects with Sanu right side. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Now it's Ryan. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Calvin Ridley with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Give him 30 yards there. And the Bengal fans are probably saying, where has that been?
And they have to, because everyone wants to talk about having a balanced offense. But these two, Andy Dalton, A.J. Green, their connection is vital to their chances of winning.
From midfield here, Dalton. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Dalton operating in the red zone now. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Dalton gives the ball. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a third and about 13.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Throwing on third and long. Dalton. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
22!
On 2nd down, Ryan. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
The Falcons on 3rd down. Can't fault these numbers. 7 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Pass interference, defense.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Now it's Ryan. Similar with the grab over the middle. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain down to about the 33. Vontez Burfict, the one to get him down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
There we
The offense on third down tonight. Can't fault these numbers. 7 for 9 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And not only will he not get the few inches he needs, he's going to go backwards. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. And Bryant's kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They'll run it here with Bernard. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. And the grab by Croft. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Dalton throwing on 2nd down. On the screen, Bernard. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Despite only needing 1, Dalton to throw. And that's complete to Croft. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Dalton, 1st and 10. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. And give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just let him bleed the game out that way.
It's complete to Jerron Brown. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another 1st. Dalton going to break the huddle, come up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And it'll be Dalton again. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. Now the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And they're not able to convert on 4th down.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, Smith. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the 1st down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. and that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And Dalton to throw. Over the middle here to Brown. And they'll get him down right around the 11-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 3rd and 10. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Carlos Dunlap, the defensive end, the one to bring him down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still 2nd down.
Check. Patriot. Leopard. Hut.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Atlanta, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they will be at home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.